Join Card Tricks live on Whatnot, the only place for regular wrestling breaks in the UK. Get £5 off your first purchase using code SCRNEW. Maybe that turns into your first one-of-one auto. Only one way to find out. Follow Card Tricks UK on Instagram and join the WhatsApp group via the link in the bio for all the latest news of what we are breaking and when. Let's get ready to rumble! Code only valid for first-time Card Tricks customers.
And now, presenting from across the pond, it's the Squared Circle Relics Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the bonus edition of the Squared Circle Relics Podcast. As we mentioned on the show last week, we are going to be now talking all about this year's select. So at the end of the episode last time, we were kind of waiting for Chet listing the first breaks that happened over the weekend. We've seen some stuff for the weekend. And there's me, Chris, and Lloydie here now to talk all things WWE Select. Boys, how you doing for this Tuesday night?
You're here.
All good?
Almost. Yeah. It's definitely a Tuesday. It feels like a fucking Tuesday. But yes, looking forward to Select. Select. Yay.
Select. I think quite a few late nights, especially for you, Lloydie. You were on an awful lot of breaks this weekend, weren't you? Every time I went to a break, your name was popping up.
That's the norm, though, isn't it? When it first comes out, it's nothing. To be honest, I haven't spent a lot of money. I've spent more time on it than I have spent money on it. To be honest,
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time reviewing,
Researching.
Yeah, exactly. And it will lead in. I won't talk about it this time round, but it will lead into what I hit this week. The big little hit on the big little hit.
A busy boy.
Yeah, a little hit on the end of the week, basically. But yes, let's talk about Select. Let's talk about Select.
Let's do it.
I'll say, what about yourself, Chris? Did you manage to do any breaks this weekend, or did you log on to any Card Trick stuff this weekend?
Yeah, I was in the Card Tricks one on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really good show, as always. But yeah, that's about all I've seen so far. I'm hoping to get a box myself, and I do quite like it when I've got a little bit of that element of surprise still. Do you know what I mean? When I haven't seen absolutely everything. I've seen a lot, but I'm hoping there might be one or two surprises if I do decide to buy a box.
Yeah, I will say, like with Card Tricks as well, like they do go through the cards at a nice pace. You get to see all the images as they go through the break. Like they don't seem to be rushing through. Whereas obviously some other breaks as well, the weekend doing first off the line, they were just whizzing through and like getting the hits, and you don't really get to see the imagery. So it was quite nice to actually get a better view on it.
I was just about to say, there's two types of people, isn't there? There's people that don't like to see any of the base.
It's all right. It's all right. The first couple of boxes.
First couple of
Then
weeks.
when you've
I would say,
seen
yeah,
everything,
that's
it's
it.
like for example, when we had Elite, and there's like the hit at the back of the pack and nothing else really. It was just like, get through it. Come on.
But you know, there's lots of stuff happening over the weekend. So we're just going to a little bit of the config first of all. So a little bit different from last year's configuration. We mentioned it on the pod last week. So we've got our set size now down to 300. So we have dropped mezzanine on the 2024 set. Hobby boxes are still as they are. So you get 5 cards per pack, 12 packs per hobby box, and you get 12 boxes per case. So again, there are lots of case breaks going on at the moment. And then within the hobby box itself, pretty much the same configuration before, 2 autos, 1 mem, and then you get 12 parallels this year. Slight difference in the number of like inserts and guaranteed cards that you would get, but again, pretty much the same as what we had last year. So we'll go through in a bit more detail as we normally do with the base, the autos list, mem, the inserts, and discuss kind of what we've got come up down the line as well. Let's go into the base set first of all. Guys, what do you think of the base set? We'll go through the concourse first, and then we'll go through the different levels from there, really.
I'm not a big fan of the design for this being the concourse design. I find it a bit strange. I find the whole, really, I'm not saying I dislike the product. I find the product really strange. Like the design of a lot of the cards. Chris has just gone mute because his little boy's just come in the room to say goodnight. He's very cute. Both little boys.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Sorry
Keep that in.
about
group.
that.
Keep it in. Keep it in. We're a family show. Keep it in.
Everyone can go, oh.
I find the whole set really strange. I said I don't dislike it. I just find it really strange. And it starts off with Concourse, and that cross that they have in the background. I don't get why they've got any kind of background design still left in it, because you can't see any of it. It's just this weird cross in the background with some visual
A
photography
bit
in
of
the middle
audience
of
or a
it.
bit of Titantron or something. Yeah.
It just seems really strange. They did it with Chris. I didn't see the basketball. I saw the EPL do it,
Yes, yeah.
and I thought it was weird then, and I'm still saying it now. It's weird. If we had to have this design, I think it should have been the second tier design and not the first tier design.
Yeah.
We'll get into that more later on when we go through it all. But I just found it really strange and odd, and some of the imagery is really good on it, but it's just that I don't know what they were doing. They probably wanted to do something different for this year. This is not for me. The concourse is not for me.
No, I mean, for myself, I do find it a bit strange. Okay, we'll kind of go touch on it a little bit here, but obviously you've got that kind of X design on the concourse. Then you go into the next
It's a
level.
cross. It's a big old. It
Cross
looks like
through the middle.
it looks like a church cross through the middle of it. It looks like Harrison Ford's going to come in a minute and save it and take it to a museum. That's how weird it looks.
I mean, they've also got the other side of it here. So you've got the Premiere where you've got like, the different designs. I'm talking about that. But then you go back to kind of your swiggle designs where you've got the background broken up, haven't you? Which is kind of like your squiggly square, which again is a bit strange to kind of
We'll get
go
into all
through-
of this in a second.
sandwich it
Let's
through.
just,
Yeah, so,
let's just talk about the concourse at the minute.
yeah.
It's weird. Chris,
It
must find it weird.
Yeah, I just think that it distracts from the image a little bit, because if there's, do you know what I mean, like a center image, I'm kind of more, it just looks too busy. And one thing, I feel like this has been kind of the general consensus in the other releases like NBA and EPL. And it just shows that they don't really listen to that. They kind of just go, right, this is our design for every product this whole year. We're not going to change it for anything. And it just, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me necessarily. And I do find that throughout the set, I like a little bit different, but this might just be a little bit too far different for me.
I think if you took out those sidebars and you just had like that rectangle within the middle, I think that would be absolutely fine. Like it would look good. But I think you're right. I think just having that too much business, especially when you start getting the kind of the parallels in there as well, it all then becomes too much to look at, and it becomes very, very shiny very quickly as well.
Yeah.
I won't tell you at the minute what I believe should have been the concourse. When we get to it, I will tell you. But ultimately, with it, the only thing I'd say is the one parallel I liked, I did like the gold, because there is so much background to it. When you've got the gold out of 10s, they actually like glow almost, and the limes as well out of 75, they like glow out of that card, which is great if you've got a good image to support it. But not all the concourse are great images, obviously, because the better images generally are saved for the premiere and
Later on.
the ringside,
Ringsides
So,
and stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's run through those concourse parallels. So as always, there's a lot of concourse parallels for this. So we've got the green flash, ice orange flash, red and blue prisms, silver prisms, tiger prisms, tricolour, zebra. So all your normal kind of unnumbered stuff. Now we don't obviously see all of these in the hobby, but that's kind of what you've got there for the concourse. And then you've got your complete list of your numbered all the way from 399 down to your 101s. You mentioned there, Lloyd, obviously you like the neon green, the lime ones. What do you think of like the zebras, and what do you think of the zebra ones as well, Chris? They're popping up quite a lot at the minute, and people are really digging them, I think.
In the concourse, I'm not too fussed. I like the premium ones. Yeah, I like the premium ones. They're probably my favourite out of them. But I'm like, zebras are zebras at the end of the day, aren't they? They're very rare. They're going to be sought after. You can put any frigging animal on there, and that everyone would chase them. You know what I mean? Cantaloupe, you can put on there. That make it a cantaloupe. Make it anything. Make it an inanimate object. Make it, I don't know, a fire hydrant red. I don't know. Just put a massive fire hydrant.
You're going down an upper deck route here.
Honestly, someone like just random shit, and people would like. It doesn't have to be animals. That's what I'm getting at. It's scissors. Like the fucking people. If it's really limited,
it's an SSP.
People,
everyone loves it.
People would go for it. So
you can kind of look at like Disney Topps Chrome, where they've got the Mickey Mouse to 28 logo, the little Mickey head on it. People go crazy for that parallel just because it's something
you can
different.
do anything as long as it's super short print. It's fine. But I don't know. People love zebras. I think it's black or white. It's not black or white, should I say? It's grey.
Let's move on into Premier then, Lloydie, while we're running hot on Premier.
Go on, Chris. Sorry, Chris.
No, all I wanted to say was that with the greens, I actually prefer the 275, like the neon type green.
Yeah, that's what
I feel
I'm talking
like
about. Yeah,
that should be the swapped round. So that's the to 5, and the regular sort of bog standard green is the to 75 instead of the to 5. So
I'll tell you what they need to get rid of: the maroons. No,
maroon. Yeah, that looks boring. Yeah,
it's just boring. It's anything.
Do a pink instead or something. Yeah,
anything. They did pink, didn't they, in the first year?
Yeah, they cleared the last Bret Harts and stuff, didn't we?
Pink were to 49.
Yeah, it does ring a bell. When they
so I've got
like
Natalia. Yeah, that would have been cool. Anyway, premieres. Well, this is where it all goes a bit funny, doesn't it? Because it's on the left side of the card.
Yeah.
I really like the Premier with it being on the side. I think having that image, the side on it, I think it's a nice twist and it really makes it stand out. I would prefer it if it was the ring side, then it kind of makes that totally different. I find it a bit weird that you've got the different styling midway through the set, but having it on the edge is a sort of different look, and I quite enjoyed seeing them actually.
Go on, Chris.
Yeah, some of them, again, it's kind of image dependent for me because some of them work, but some of them are just a bit, it's just too much space on the card. And yeah, it's again similar to what I said earlier. It's a little bit too much. Do you know what I mean? They've just gone, they look like they've just thrown something at the wall to see if it will stick. And again, I don't think people were particularly keen on these in the other sports either. So
I'd say, for me personally, they should have been an insert and not a Premier. So the Concours should be Premier. This should have been an insert.
These are super common throughout a box, aren't they? So you see it constantly. Whereas,
I think it would be
way
more special.
That's it, yeah. That way it would have something about it still.
I agree with you with the images. Sorry. I agree with you with the images because ultimately it is very image dependent. On some of them are great, like Bray Wyatt's is fantastic on it, you know what I mean? And
yes, yeah. Uncle Howdy.
Hogan's one's great as well, to be honest.
Do you know what I don't like was The Undertaker. He's like, it's almost as if he's trying to walk off the card. He's facing the wrong way. He's like trying to walk out.
Yeah.
I quite like the die cuts on this kind of design as well. You've got obviously the image on the left, and then the die cut is like that piece cut out, which has got lots of noise going on it. I think that's quite cool. I think that then comes back to what you're saying about it maybe being more of an insert, having that as a die cut, and just only having die cuts but make them sort of rarer. I think that would be quite nice.
I think the die cuts for these, we didn't talk about the Concours die cuts. They're just kind of a bit strange, but they're nothing really to write home about. But these ones and the ring sides are obviously notable. But I think a lot of people, if they're going to collect them, the die cuts, they're going for quite good money on the resale as well. People dig them. I think they are probably the bigger hit, not as in hit, but as in popularity-wise hit. I think they're quite going to be sought after, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like the zebras. The zebras are definitely my favourite on the Premier, 100%. But yeah, I still don't know how I feel about the concourse and the Premier, really. I think that it's so far beyond what we've seen before. It's hard to state anything more at the minute in my mind other than it's a bit strange.
Yeah.
I think we'll get used to it over time, I'm sure.
And let's move on then to the ring size. So, Lordy, you sound like you like the ring size quite a bit. And Chris, you mentioned obviously the ring size a couple of times. What's your thoughts on the ring side imagery, first of all?
I don't like the squiggle that they've got in the centre. I tell you what it's like. So imagine that you've been a naughty boy. Someone doesn't like you being a naughty boy, and they have a Volvo, and they stick you in the back of a Volvo, and they drive you around for a couple of hours, so you're a bit disorientated. It's the height of the summer, so there's bright light, and then they open up the boot, and you peer out, and all you can see is this weird shape. It's like looking out of a Volvo, a boot of a Volvo.
Back of Volvo.
Yeah, that's the only way I can describe the design.
Are you speaking from experience here?
No,
I'm a little bit worried.
I'm a visionary, and I can just see that happen. It's just
I would
weird,
say I much prefer last year's and the years before design on the ring sides to these. Like, massively prefer them. Yeah, there's a weird squiggle, and it's just I wouldn't look at it. Well, I suppose I would look at it and know it's a ringside. Whereas I feel like the other 2 years, you kind of look at it and you know it's a ringside. Whereas these bordering on being too close to some of the other cards in the set.
I find it strange.
I'll tell you where you can actually see it's a ringside when it's a tie-dye, a gold, or a one-of-one.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You
the
know what I mean?
tie-dyes look really cool because there's a big blue
Exactly.
swirl across the top of it, so it does stand out that way. But when it's the base,
it's noticeable when there's colour. Outside of that, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jamie.
No, all I was going to say was I find it strange as well that I know you got the main squid, but those two thinner lines, the Volvo window look.
Yeah.
It's funny that on the ring sides that we're all sticking all the images, they're kind of in front of that anyway. So like when you got some guys who are like in between the squiggles, and fair enough, but you've got the background blurring behind the squiggles. But then you got someone like Hollywood Hogan where they take up the entire card and the squiggles aren't even visible. So you kind of think, well, why even put those smaller squiggles in the first place if everyone's already in front of them? And then that's when it starts looking quite busy. I mean, Rhea Ripley's another one where she's got the fall away slam type of thing, and she's got the whole card covered up with those squiggles. But yeah, very, very peculiar, very strange design.
To be honest, though, I do like out of the 3 cards, it's the only one that's reminiscent of being a ringside, and that's generally because of the top left and the bottom right.
Yeah,
because we've seen that in Series 1, right? I didn't find that the images were very ring-sidey. There's a lot of people just like standing around. I think year 2 was a lot better for that because it felt like there were pictures from ringside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of, it's gone back to kind of year 1-ish really on it. But each their own. Like, I'm sure there's people that completely disagree with us and love all 3 of these designs and think we're fucking mad. Probably we are, but yeah.
I find it strange though. You've got 100 less cards, which is normally repeated people anyway. Yet you've gone for basic images. Like I just find it a bit strange really that you've gone for normal standard shots for the like higher tier stuff. Something we did mention on the pod last time round, obviously the big sort of everyone was waiting for the Jacob Fatu card to kind of appear, and we thought that would be a big deal. Not that impressed with the Jacob Fatu image. Obviously, it's pretty bland. No,
I think he looks quite imposing in it, though. Do you not think?
He kind of looks the same in the colour wheel as well, doesn't he?
Oh,
it's just kind of that same image, yeah.
It doesn't. I think there's a lot of them. There's just that Stephanie Vacour.
Yeah,
Vacour.
Julia as well. Just standing there,
It's
aren't
Well, at least that is actually at ringside.
Yeah.
You can actually, you're looking up at her going, oh, I'm actually at ringside. Yeah, but what images were you expecting to get? I don't know. There's a lot of images that are great images in the set with a lot of people flying about and doing stuff.
Yeah,
Cool,
I guess if you just had a more of an action shot of him doing something, like having someone in the Simone drop, or have something where he looked directly at the camera, where you could say, "Oh, that's his first."
Well,
it
should be him. It should be him with the praising Solo, isn't it? The putting his hands together kind of thing and looking down.
Yeah.
That should have been his first card, really.
Yeah. But hey, it's again, lots of people probably love it, and would be the minority.
Yeah.
What are your other images that you like across the base set altogether? Is there anything that you particularly like, or anything you're going after as for your NPC?
I mean, we have to talk about the Kurt
Angle. Yeah.
on his Vespa.
Yes. I mean, what I thought with that Kurt Angle, imagine having the 1 of 1 of that, the gold vinyl of that card. It's just such like a funny card. I've got the 1 of 1 of my Dean Ambrose with a hot dog cart. It's kind of reminiscent to that, same vein as that. Yeah, there's quite a few like good images. One thing I have written down here, Kairi Sane, they use the same elbow drop image on all of her cards.
Always.
That gets a bit repetitive. Good shot of DDP with the European title. I like the European title getting a card.
Yeah, we don't normally see DDP in that era of him either, do we, really?
No, that's it. Dancing Damian Priest, one I remember. It kind of looks like he's doing a little boogie in one of his cards. You guys don't look like you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen that.
He's kind of doing the Scott Hall walk. Do you know what I mean? He kind of looks like he's doing jazz.
Oh, okay, the
something.
strut.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I have.
you know.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I really like the Triple
he's
H
doing the
ringside.
electric slide. That's what he's
There you
doing.
go,
It's
yeah.
the electric
Slide.
slide. Showing my age, man.
But I like the Triple H ringside. It's quite a nice one. That sort of 2000s Triple H with the sort of the belt up with these sort of classic gear on. That was quite a cool shot.
Nikki Cross has got a good one as well. Like her first kind of White Six thing that I'd seen. Her also was quite cool.
No, there are some really good fun ones, to be honest. I do. I think that they always have a funny one, don't they? And that Kurt one was absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
There's always one that stands out within this set, isn't there? You know,
There is, and that's definitely the highlight of the set. 100%. Just think Tatanka one I do like as well, because you don't see that one of Tatanka often doing the tomahawk chop.
Yeah.
And that card seems to be coming out every other pack at the minute as well. Like, if you like Tatanka, so this year's select is definitely for you. But yeah, the Chelsea Green one's good as well. Bent over. I think. But yeah, I'm just trying to think what else really. I like the Premier Warrior as well. I think that's quite cool.
mm-hmm.
The weird one was, is it? I'm not sure if it's the select, which is the CM Punk one where he's flying through the air, and it looked really weird. I'm just trying to find an image of it.
I think that
It's
is.
CM Punk this year is just for him doing the entrance, isn't it? And he's in
No.
his t-shirt.
No, there's a CM Punk card of him flying through the air, and it's really strange. It's his premiere.
Oh, the Premier. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, with his knees
Premier
up.
level.
It's just, yeah. I mean,
Not something you think of when you think of Punk, is it?
well, if you're looking for having a farting card or going to the toilet card, which we're going to do, well, that is definitely one of them. I saw the green come out of that. I was just like, oh, it's a horrible card.
I do find it interesting that so many images of that for the CM Punk are all from the same moment where he's either doing the entrance. The color wheel is from the same part. There's him standing in the one sitting. It's all from the same sort of promo. So you've got a very limited CM Punk image field for select.
I did I think the low light of because some of the wrestlers have 3 cards in all of the levels, right?
Yeah.
But how boring is the John Cena ones? Like, it's 3 boring John Cena cards all the way through. He's not doing anything, man. It's just like, what were they thinking about? It is really strange. And not for me.
He's just kind of standing there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a shirt on him in one picture. He's got a shirt off in the other picture. There you go.
Yeah.
That's about it.
There is one other thing I'd like to talk about before we move on from base. How do I put this? Because there's a lot of circles, right? We've had in tops lots of triangles, very Masonic. This one is very circly. The middle of the Premier card, what does it look like to you?
Sorry, I'm just
Chris?
dying. Sorry, I'm just coughing there.
The middle of the Premier card, what does it look like to you?
Hang on, let me...
With the 2 circles joining together.
The infinity sign. I can't actually see. Oh, wait.
Are you being filth,
Or
Lloydie?
like...
It looks like a fanny.
Oh, yeah, what the middle circle does, yes.
The middle circle looks like a
Yeah.
fanny.
It is fanny shaped.
It is fanny shaped. And that's all I thought about when
Oh, now I'm
the
never
breaks
going to
were
be able to
happening.
unsee that now.
Yeah, sorry guys. It just looks like a massive fanny all the way through the
Through the
set.
middle of the set.
Yeah.
Tie-dye fanny.
Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah. Premier fanny
Brilliant, funny.
for JJ. We're not talking about for American listeners, we're talking about the front hole, not the back hole.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. Yeah.
You're right. That it's quite gaping after you start looking at it for a little while, isn't it? Really.
It is. It's hypnotic almost.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm surprised no
There
one
you
saw that before. That was
Takes the mind to
Shows
trigger it,
where our
you see. Plants
minds
the
are,
seed.
yeah.
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 Back of Volvos and fannies.
Show Tom.
And Harrison Ford swinging in the middle of them, getting his cross. Anyway,
Let's move on.
let's move on. Should we talk about inserts?
Let's do the inserts and then we'll work our way through to
Yeah.
autos and mems. Yeah, because I know you've got something to mention about autos. So, inserts. So again, not all of these are in hobby, but I'll run through the full list and then we'll dissect what is in and what isn't in a minute. So from the top, we've got the and new. So you've got 20 cards for that. Artistic selections, there are 5 of those. Colour wheels, we've got 10 of those within the checklist. Firestorm, we've got 10 cards. Icons, we've got 25 cards. Got NXT Alumni, which is a set everyone was clambering for 25 cards. And then we've got Phenomenon at 30 cards. So quite a lot of stuff. And then finally, sorry, we've got the last couple of minutes. You've got Select Future, 25, and then Select Throwback, 25. Sensations, Turbocharge, which we haven't seen Turbocharge yet, have we? But yeah, lots of inserts to pick up from this time round.
Turbocharged
Oh, yeah, have we?
is one of the ones,
Turbochargers on there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so lots and lots of inserts. What's your favourite insert so far, boys?
Before we go on, can we just talk about the first one? Because this is the first one
And
that comes.
new.
No, the first one that comes to my head is Phenomenon. It's all over as an insert. But
Yeah.
for me, Phenomenon, the design of Phenomenon should have been the concourse.
It looks just like the kind of base card, doesn't it?
That so many people got confused about it because
Yeah.
it looks so basey.
Yeah.
But
Me being
I
one
would-
of those people.
yeah, but like that's what I was getting at. So Phenomenon should have been concourse.
Yeah.
The concourse should have been Premier. Leave the ringside as it is and make the Premier the Phenomenon or something else. Because I just think they've got it in the wrong order, personally. Because it looks so plain. It doesn't look like an insert. It looks like a base card.
Yeah.
And it was very similar, yeah.
Yeah. So, Yeah, I don't get me wrong though. I do like the design. I think the images on it are probably better than actually that's in the actual tiers of base sets for the majority of them. I like the shinies that you get, like the silvers on it. They look fantastic. They look superb. The colours look great as well. So the numbered inserts look great as well. I think there's nothing wrong with Phenomenon. I think it's good.
I'm looking forward to seeing one in hand. I got a couple of the rock ones in a break the other day.
The rock's really nice.
Do you want to
on the
swap
Phenomenon,
for
actually.
Lola? Do you want to swap
I think I
rock for a
got
Lola?
2, yeah, so
Yeah, I got 2.
definitely. There you go. Deals. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just, I just looking at them and I'm like,
You know what I'm talking
they
about,
look
don't you?
even more like a base card than
Yeah, especially when you
any
compare
of the
them.
other cards.
People got so confused when they started breaking it. People just got so confused about it. They were just like, "What is this thing?" And there's a little tiny bit of writing on one of their sides that says "Phenomenon" on it, and yeah, it just doesn't
Yes,
look like
it's
an
kind of just inside the semicircle, isn't it?
Mhm.
But yeah, really, really hard to spot.
Especially when you get the colour, like you said earlier on, like the colours on these sort of numbered cards do really pop. And when you get the colour on this, that makes it even harder to note that it's a Phenomenon, really.
Yep. Shame. Weird. Just weird. This is what I was saying, that the set's strange. It doesn't kind of make sense to me, but that's what I would have changed.
And then also,
Yeah. You can move
No,
on
sorry.
from Phenomenon on.
yeah, so let's go through, I mean, just some of the other ones we've had seen through. So the And News, again, lots of kind of border with a smallish image in the middle. Turbocharge, again, very lots, again, with all these, there's lots going on with them. So like the Turbocharge, you've got the lightning bolts and with these kind of smaller image in the middle. I will say that I do like the Hogan on the Turbocharge with them ripping the shirt off with the classic winged eagle. I think that's a really nice shot, to be fair.
I do like them as an insert. They they look very inserty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look like they should be there. It's really strange seeing like the image of it it's like mostly a full bodied image, isn't it? And it's higher on the card than usual.
Yeah, because you've got the
It may-
turbocharged at the bottom. It's quite big, isn't it?
You might think that looks odd, but I think it actually works quite well. I'm a fan. I like it.
It likes it a lot.
I like it. But yeah, the And New is exactly the same as
Yeah.
like pretty much as last year. There's not much.
Yeah, and nothing's really
And there's not
changed
much
there at all
And
with it.
New about it.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I've not seen many of the other inserts pop up as of yet. I know Firestorm last year was kind of within blasters, weren't they last year?
Sensations.
Sensations
So
was it?
Sensations are horizontal this year, so they're landscape. And I think they actually look a lot better landscape as well. You can't really see much of the image.
It's the
on it
same.
because
It's the same font as last year, isn't it? Like in
Yeah, it looks
in
identical.
Sensations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
it
just that
does
you can't really
look-
see the design that well
Yeah,
because it's there's so much card to it. But yeah, I like it. I think it's different. Sometimes different works, sometimes it doesn't.
So, Dave, before we came on, you mentioned there was a few inserts that weren't actually in the product. Do you know which ones they were?
Pretty much every single one that Jamie has
Everything
said.
else. Yeah.
The NXT alumni, that's
NXT alumni is not in that.
not in there.
No.
The
Select Future,
Select Features not in there.
No.
Select Throwback.
Nope.
No.
Which I thought Throwback would be
Yeah.
because it's like a normal insert in Hobby, isn't it?
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Oh, is it? They always do like throwback type,
Throwback.
ones, don't they? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure I've had EPL with throwbacks in them. With like Prison though.
Yeah, it is
Not
not
necessarily
Prison,
Select.
isn't it?
The Icon isn't in there either,
Icons, yeah.
which I thought was weird. I thought they would have them in there.
So yeah, really quite slimmed down on the inserts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
generally it was your base an insert and then something generally a bit better than an insert in your pack. No, well, they love a tricolour pack, don't they? In Select, if you don't get a pack that hits, you get generally a tricolour from the base. That's it from the inserts.
Yeah, I guess the only insert we haven't covered yet was obviously the main hit, the colour wheels. So we had the checklist of 10 cards. So we'll just run through who you've got on the colour wheels if you want to look out for them in breaks and stuff. So you've got Bray Wyatt, Cody Rhodes, Triple H, Jade Cargill, Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, Roxanne Perez, Becky Lynch, Austin, and CM Punk. Now, we mentioned, obviously, on the episode just gone that Roxanne Perez and Jacob Fatu were interesting choices to go in, but obviously people will be chasing those. What are your thoughts on the images that they have used from? Obviously, they are very similar to what we've seen previously, but any that have jumped out to you, any that you're particularly surprised with, or?
I think the only ones I've seen are the ones you've just said there, Roxanne Perez and Jacob Fatu. Well, no, actually, in fact, it's just Roxanne Perez. It's a good shot for Roxanne, but it is very similar to Panini Instant Autos she's had and things like that.
Mm.
And that's the thing. Well, that's the thing with Chris saying that. They're not coming out of the hobby. Like, they're very scarce. They're like every 6 cases or so.
Wow.
I've seen the CM Punk pulled.
Yeah.
But that's about it. It's been, and I've watched, 20 cases now. I think there's another one. I think there was another one as well, so I can't remember which one it was.
Becky
Definitely
Lynch
wasn't Jacob.
She looks like
Becky,
she's
that was it.
French.
Yeah.
Very
Becky
French.
in her full suit.
I have seen Becky pulled as well.
Beret.
But yeah, they're very sparse, and I don't know. Like I say that now. You'll go away and watch 3 case breaks, and they'll come out in every single case break.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, the case breaks I've been watching, there's just the very few and far between. Becky, yes, that has come out, and yeah, I've seen a few of those online as well. But
I would say that the Jacob Fatu is basically the same image that you get in the base, but flipped, so he's facing the other way. But it's basically the same image that you've got there. CM Punk is pretty much the same image again, with him in his white shirt from the same promo with his blue base shoes. So, I mean, there's not much originality that you would see on the artwork compared to the other cards in the set. Seth Rollins is in his moon boots, which is quite a unique colour wheel, which is a bit of a more unique image. And the Jade Cargill was obviously quite a cool image as well. But, I mean, nothing groundbreaking there with the colour wheels. Hogan is maybe one of the better shots with the tearing of the shirt. But, yeah, it's not the greatest hit. But, again, they're not appearing that often, really, at the moment, are they? So
I don't like the fact that they were basically the case hits. They were one a case last year, and now they're not. And people are going to get confused about that with regarding the pricing
stuff,
of not necessarily the old ones, but the new ones, because they're so much more rarer. They should be 4 or 5 times more expensive than the other ones are, but I don't think they will be.
no, I don't think so either.
If we talk about case hits as well, we also have to talk about the silver ring sides.
Silver ring sides.
They're back.
Often
they are
overlooked.
case hits.
Yeah.
Have we seen a few boxes, a few cases with multiple?
Yeah.
Have you seen a few? Yeah,
I have. Yeah. And I also would say as well, the die cut ring sides, silver ring sides, just as hard as they were last year to find. Really weirdly, actually, I've looked after this, but I saw Cardtricks pull the Kiana James one, and there's only a few of them. There's like 3 or so, like per ring side in the set. They're very few and far between. And then I looked online to see if there were any on there, and another Kiana James was for sale in America. So that was 2 of them. I thought that was really weird. And at the time, there was no others for sale. I looked after that, and there is. But yeah, very strange, very strange. But people underestimate these. They are a lot rarer than most of the cards in that set. So yeah, keep your eyes out for them, guys. Like last year, for example. Was it last year?
Some steals.
It was last year, and I flagged Travis down about a Hogan one, and he got it for $30. And that's $150 card all day. So
I picked up a couple of the silver ring size last year for like the same sort of price, like even less than 20 for like Steve Austin and stuff like that with a Zamboni. Yeah. And you just think people just didn't realise, it's crazy, really.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the autos. I want to talk about some of the news first of all. Obviously, we've seen some stuff crop up around the Iron Sheik. Do you want to get into that a little bit first of all? And just want to get your thoughts on that if you boys don't mind.
What is it that it's an assisted auto? Is that so? He had the pen in his hand, but someone else kind of did it.
Yeah, so this is flagged on Twitter by Tron Cards. So Corey had the comparison of the two Iron Sheiks. One on one side was kind of obviously clearly Iron Sheik, matched up to obviously with previous, and the other one was quite kind of block capital writing with just Iron Sheik with a different way of writing.
Shaky.
Less shaky, exactly that. Shaky, no pun intended.
Don't give a shit, shouldn't be news. No offence to anyone who thinks it should be news. It's not news.
No, I was just curious.
The fact of the matter is, he's dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what we're going to say is that he was wrong for doing it. He's dead, man.
I wouldn't say... I wasn't kind of going down that line. I guess from my side, it seems strange that, if the poor old boy couldn't sign all the stickers, then
he wanted
don't have him sign all the stickers.
He wanted the money.
I guess
he was
so.
like, Papa, help me sign these. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if anyone's fault, it's Panini's fault for not recognising or caring about the fact that they're doing quality checks on their autographs. But the fact of the matter is, like, we've seen so much worse with Sasha Banks, for example, who couldn't give a shit about doing it, and basically, like, that was on is that the flagship?
That was
flagship.
Yeah, that was early on, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and the last top set as well, weren't we? There was kind of curiosity around here.
So no offense to Tron Cards. I do like Tron Cards, but I couldn't give a shit. Like, the guy's dead. Let him and his family be. If anyone's got any problems, direct them directly to Panini. It's not fucking news.
Yeah, no, I just found
harsh there, maybe, but
Dave's 2 cents on the matter.
Yeah, no, harsh, but fuck it. We're talking about family here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I just found it strange that it got to the point where he was struggling. He was still signing stickers. I don't know. Maybe I just find it a bit strange that they would still get all the stickers signed.
But you don't know that wasn't his own choice. That he, like I said, he might have wanted the big fat paycheck for doing it and wanted to get it done by any means.
I don't think it was that fat a paycheck, to be honest.
No, but if you've got no kind of income and then you've got someone going, I'll give you $5,000 to sign these cards, it's a big paycheck.
I mean, it sounds really horrible, but we've seen redemptions not filled for lighter reasons. I don't know, I just find it very peculiar that they were still getting them
That's
done.
Where the story is, Jamie. That's where the story is right now. You got redemptions for people who are on the roster right now, like Bianca Belair, and they've not gone anywhere, and yet we've got redemptions from them. What the fuck? That is an interesting story in itself, because where were they when Panini came round and said, "Can we please have your stickers back?"
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. It really is. I just don't understand it. Seth Rollins. I don't get these people who go off and they're off, like they go off into the wilderness. Apparently they're concentrating so much on their rehab. They haven't got time in their busy schedule at home to sign a couple of stickers, but they have on the road.
Or on a flight.
Or a flight or something like that. I just don't understand it. It's like, we're still having the same conversation about redemptions time and time again. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. They don't need to be there. If they can't sign, just pull the cards.
Yeah.
No biggie.
I'm still waiting for Steve Blackman to be fulfilled.
I had one fulfilled the other day. Should be turning up this week. Carl Anderson.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But again,
So, yeah,
why has he signed everything else and then not? It's just weird.
It's very strange. But when it comes to the auto list, let's go just chat about some of the autos. So most of them are kind of all your normal names that you expect from Panini at this point. There's no real breakouts or anything new. Was there anyone's images that you liked when it comes to the autos? Is there anything particularly different? And is there anything you're looking out for on the secondary market on the auto side of things?
Straight off the bat, the ringside action signatures with the sort of matching colour gradient behind them, they are cards of the set, in my opinion. They are so nice. Have you guys seen those with, like, if it's the gold to 10, it will have behind the auto, it will have it'll be like yellowy goldy colour, and the red.
Is it just see-through?
similar.
Like this?
I don't know. I haven't seen one in hand. I feel like the sticker is see-through, so it's just placed over the top of the coloured.
But it's always been white before.
It's always been white before, or it kind of says Panini or like authentic or something like that. But yeah, these look really nice.
Blends in better.
I think they look noticeably different. I've seen quite a few of them pulled. Rhea Ripley's
The Rhea
really
gold
good.
one is really good. I've seen a Tiffany red one that looked really nice as well.
Yeah. No, they are markedly different. That's weird, right? So I'm looking at one now, and the base is just white.
Yeah.
So it's
base
if they're coloured, then okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like the blue is blue behind it, yeah. But
The thing is, I haven't seen many base ones. I saw a CM Punk base one, but with the rest of them, they've all been numbered versions.
Coloured ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this is where we go, oh, they were like much rarer.
Yeah. That's so strange.
I find the blue on blue a bit strange because the blue background blends perfect with the blue ink, so you kind of can't see
Blue
the signature
pen
as well.
Yeah.
But the red, the reds look pretty good. I quite like those. The purples, again, it's quite cool to kind of have that kind of fading in and out, like you said there, Chris. I think it's quite a nice touch.
The weirdest one of the set is the NXT ones. Because have you seen them? They're gold. So every time someone pulls one, they're like, "Oh, I've pulled a gold auto," but it's not because it's the inlay of them are the colours of the cards. So they've got base, they've got red, they've got blues. But that's an interesting, like, putting a gold card.
It doesn't help that it's like the corners as well that are gold. Do you know what I mean? If it was like in the middle, you wouldn't see that as a breaker straight off the bat. But I guess you see that, and you would.
You do see quite a few people as well here when they're going through just looking for the hits. Obviously, they get that glimp on the side. They think, oh yeah, and it's not actually what you expect it to be. You know?
Yeah. That's a bit of a bummer. But I don't know. Like, yet again, the signature sensations. Have you seen those cards? Just the normal ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the person, what does it look like?
Fill us in, Lloyd. What does it look like?
It looks like a big fanny again.
Yeah,
They've really gone vaginal this time round in these cards.
Very agile.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think they're good. I like the. I like them. What they've done with these autographs. The only thing is that the majority of the hits have been from like the base cards, and the inserts. What I've seen have been like really big time players. They've been the big guys that people spend the big money for. But the autographs have always seemed to be the lower end.
Yeah.
Elton Prince. Oh my God. If I see one more and Ashante Adonis. Mr. Stone, sadly. Yeah, Mr. Stone, sadly, is coming out a lot in this. I want to go. Ironically, Chris, because you were saying, you like Mr. Stone. after that night, I got a Mr. Stone spot and hit an autograph of him.
I think that was someone else, but yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up the Mrs. Stone spot for you the other day, but nothing come about of it.
So, thanks. He's only got an autograph anyway, I think. So.
Yeah.
When he hits. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I've seen like the ringside ones that have come out, obviously, have been the bigger names. But the generic, just normal sensation ones I don't think they've been that good that I've seen.
Mm.
But you're right.
So-
I was saying to Jamie before we came on, I watched the box and the autos were kind of, subpar. And then they hit a 1 of 1, Dusty Rhodes. And I was like, well, there you go. That saves the box sort of thing. So yeah, seen that quite often where they're getting mediocre autos and then, just 1 or 2 really good cards. So.
I mean, we've seen that, obviously, the card tricks break this weekend in those cases. Like I say, each box, I feel like you do get, maybe not your money's worth, but you do get something that is fairly worthwhile rather than total crap and getting a totally crap box,
Yeah.
It definitely feels a lot more balanced there.
Legends wise, I have seen a lot of Hogan's pulled though. Like I've seen a good couple of 49s pulled of him and base ones as well. Couple of Austins, couple of Takers. I don't think I've seen one John Cena actually. But
I think there was one pulled maybe last night.
I was there.
Last night, yeah. I'm sure Card Tricks has pulled one.
I think it also comes down to how many cards they have got within the set as well. Like some of these guys have actually got quite a few, half a dozen cards across the set, really, haven't they? So they're going to probably crop up more.
Big E's now a legend.
He's a legend.
I thought that was quite of a weird one, having because is he completely done now then?
I think
I don't know if he's. I mean, they keep saying it. Is there a chance of him coming back? Obviously, with this New Day kind of breakup thing, is he going to come back in some capacity? But yeah, I think his ring career is pretty much done, isn't it? We'll see. But it's
Always had hope.
He's a legend in Photogenic as well. I'm just checking the back.
Yeah,
Oh, is he?
okay.
Yeah.
He's done, mate. He's a legend.
Shame.
So let's finish up then this sort of going through select with some kind of final thoughts and sort of thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle type stuff.
Oh, can we talk about the memes quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Just very quickly.
Yeah.
It's cool. Go on, you go.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Sparks. Are you going to talk about the Sparks?
No.
Okay, so the Sparks one, I think, is an upgrade. I think they've actually upgraded the mem card, the Sparks mem card, throughout the 3 years. I think they were very boring to start off with, and I think that. But the thing is, they're quite a grandiose card. But when you've just got a bit of black mem in the middle, a little tiny bit of black
way
mem,
better,
yeah, and it's just like, look at this, guys! It's a piece of black t-shirt.
The tie-dye ones are the only ones where they've used like different material, or like the gold or the tie-dyes. Or
Yeah, anything
the hard.
above 25, basically. Yeah. Even
Also-
the 49s are shit.
We'll say, I did see a Grayson Waller get pulled over the weekend, and he's got the blue swatch, and that looks quite nice with the blue and white. At least there's kind of a colour match there, but the black ones are, pretty dull. There's a lot of black relics coming through that I've seen on breaks, I must say.
Have any of you seen the football shirt one that's with Pete Dunne?
No.
No,
Yeah,
so it's like a football shirt that they wore, and it's like you can tell from the material.
It was in Immaculate as well.
Was it actually? I didn't
Yeah,
know it was.
I've got it.
Oh, yeah, there
Out of 35 on Immaculate.
boom.
Yeah. What's his name's got one as well. Seamus has got the white one.
Yes, yeah.
And so those have come out before as well. I think they kind of have like a start at the start of the year. They have like the same thing all the way through. Like you remember with the AJ Styles with the green shirt, he wore it twice, and they
I've
used
got
it for a
both
whole
years.
frigging year.
Oh yeah, that's
2
a point.
years.
Have they done an AJ Green relic this year? Because I would need it if
blue.
they did. Oh, don't be
I
like
think
that.
it's blue.
Just, you're right, yeah, Immaculate, had the same Pete Dunne football shirt kind of material,
Yeah, I've got one. Like it's weird though because the small one is the green one, but they've got like the big ones are black material.
Black. Yeah.
So it's like, okay. But yeah, it just is what it is. I think that they use anything that they've got to hand, to be honest.
Exactly that. Yeah.
But that's mem. It's all right. There's one a box, so we have to talk about it, right? But they're no great shapes.
And no one's getting excited too much about them, unless they're a nice color, multicolour.
Even
cool.
then, like the EO one's been cool. I think is it Breaker Mayfield pulled the EO one with her face on it.
The whole head, yeah.
Yeah, but they've done those before anyway. Like we've had that with Asuka and stuff like that, haven't we? Before, so there's nothing new. I saw a logo man as well on one of them.
Yeah.
What was that? Was it on a 101? Was it all?
It was on a 101, yeah.
Nice.
Which they don't normally do on
No.
Select. So that was cool.
Nice. So that's our last. I think that's probably going to be our last Select release. I think now at this point in time, anyway. So overall, where does this sit in the years of Select? And yeah, thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down. What do you boys want to do for final thoughts?
For me, I would say it is so far my third favourite out of the 3 releases.
I don't know where to start with, like, thinking. Like, it's so strange. It doesn't feel like Select. It feels like they've just kind of thrown some real mental ideas into a set and gone, yeah, let's call it Select. But it's not just obviously for WWE, it's for the whole genre, like different products for different sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just, there doesn't seem to be any kind of like, with the first 2 years of Select, there was just this kind of staging of the whole set, and it just kind of made sense. This one doesn't make sense to me, and I find it difficult to rate it because it's so far beyond what we've had before. I rate it as strange. That's the only thing I can rate it as. Very strange.
I find that I said before, like I really like Select when it comes to Panini product. I thought year 1 was a great set to come into. Year 2 really built up on year 1, and in year 3, I do feel it's a bit of a miss for me. I don't like it as much.
Took a left.
Yeah, it took a left, and they've started walking off the edge of the cards.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's some great stuff in it though. Like
there is some good stuff in it.
There's some great stuff in it.
Beautiful cards.
Yeah. I think we're going to lose a lot of this professional design standard that we have with Panini. And I think, like, you may not like the design of the card and what's on the card etc, but the way that it's produced, manufactured, and the care that goes into it is so much different to Topps. It looks so much more like the Selects. You may not like them this year. They might be a bit too, like, not your favourite, but they look 10 times better than most of the cards that Topps have ever done. You know, just the design quality of it. It just looks great. But yeah, I'm glad. Could we have just not had Select this year and just remembered the 2 years that we had fondly?
Leave the memories alone.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we're not that far away. I mean, Select will soon be in the rearview mirror. I know we haven't got Retail and Blasters yet, but 3 Count will be with us probably the end of the week. So we'll see.
Well, no, it's the
22nd.
22nd that's coming out. Yeah,
okay.
we've got another
Pushed
10
a week.
days.
Yeah.
So
we've got, obviously we've got other products coming out. So we'll have the Blasters coming out, the Retail coming out. We'll have Team coming out.
Team.
Lucky Envelopes. FOTL was a bit of a weird one, actually. That was because obviously the first breaks were FOTL, and we didn't mention it during the round, but I saw like they're all to 8,
Yeah.
which I found weird because they were different numbering last year, and it made the ring sides more special last year, right? Because you were chasing the ring sides. obviously, with a lot of regard, you're chasing the ring sides to get the Fatus and the Ghoulias and whatever, not this year. But there were boxes where there were no ring sides. There were boxes where there were no FOTLs.
No way.
And there were some with 1 and there were some with 2. I never saw over 2. But can you imagine spending out and getting 1 without 1? I saw it multiple times on different breaks as well.
It's kind of passable when it's like a case break or something. You can kind of let it slide, but imagine that's your own personal box.
Your only box.
That would really suck, yeah.
It's it's almost a week ago now, you know what I mean? But I'm still bitter from seeing that because I thought that was that's one of the worst things Panini can do outside of the redemptions. Because it's like you're saying to someone you're going to get something, and then when you don't, like how that's the stuff you should complain about in the hobby. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it shouldn't be allowed.
Be held accountable for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I've had like Topps products with like 1 instead of 2 autographs in it. I'm sure we all have had that kind of thing happen, and it's just frustrating. But yeah, when the kicker of the set is not in your set, fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, weird way to finish Select, guys. Weird way.
Close that chapter with a funny mixed bag of a set.
Yeah.
Fine. Any final thoughts, or should we send Select on its way?
No, we'll send Select on its way.
Send it.
We're recording next week. Potentially meeting up in 2 days. I'm still up for that. Are you still up for that, guys?
All been well, as long as it doesn't rain.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't rain. But yeah, I'm ready, actually. I packed a bit tonight, actually. I feel like we're going on holiday. So many cards.
I've got a car full of empty boxes. I've got a bag of DVDs. I've got all sorts. Wrestle Crate t-shirts. There's going to be like a car boot sale in the boot of my Focus. But yeah, it'd be good to catch up with you boys. So yeah.
See you on Thursday.
Cool. So yeah, final bits and pieces. If you again want to find us anywhere, leave us a review. You can also come find us in the Card Tricks WhatsApp community. And if you haven't used Card Tricks before, you can get up to £25 off your first purchase from them. And that code is ArthurCost. So you can go on there. Now, again, lots of giveies. Got more information about the giveies come up on the next episode, I'm sure. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of the week, boys. Last plugs for you, boys, and then we'll go.
Yeah, I just wanted to say while you're talking Card Tricks, like vouchers and coupons and stuff. So they're running a Select single show this Friday. You can look at the stuff.
Don't tell them that.
Shut up.
They're all for me.
They're all pre-listed already, so you can see the photos there. And when I say there's a good selection, there's a really good selection of cards there. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And yeah, find me at my usual places, Cambridge Trading Cards on YouTube and Instagram.
Nothing for me. No one gives a fuck anyway. All right. See you later.
End of.
End of. See you later. Bye-bye.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Join Card Tricks UK on Whatnot Daily, your only stop for regular wrestling breaks in the UK. Ooh, Chris, Casper, and the team welcome you to join the hunt for rare autographs, relics, and one-of-ones from wrestling stars past, present, and future. What you gonna do, brother?